Anyways, so welcome back.
Good to be back. Thanks for
Uh,
having me.
we're doing our second deep dive
hmm
into Hollywood cinema, and we're doing it on Vada Chennai.
Yes. So this one was definitely, I can see why we put this one last compared to the other three that we did,
Yeah,
um, or the other two. Uh, it is definitely still a crime, violence, and I like that at the end they started to kind of amp up the action a bit. That was really fun.
mm,
Um, but you can tell that this one is definitely more about the community and the political climate, and how the gangs are more so, or how the community is more so reacting to the gangs and their activities versus, the other two movies that kind of just, it was more so just focused on the gangs themselves and not necessarily the uh, ramifications of their actions
yeah,
to the community that they reside within. So I thought that was a pretty cool perspective.
yeah,
Um, and I do like the entire, ambiguous right or wrong type of approach. Like there is no one good person, there is no one bad person.
mm.
Um, even the only good quote unquote person, what's her name? It wasn't Tundra, it
Is it
was
Padma?
his Padma, yeah.
Yeah,
Um, she was the most, good person, but she still was like, you know, complicit in the ending where she was just like, do what you think is best. Like, if you want to cut these
mm,
guys' heads off, go ahead. You know what I mean?
mm,
Like she wasn't fully um outside of the realm at the same time. So
mm.
yeah, I thought it was a really cool, a lot of nuances. And this is actually, I'm rewatching the beginning before you showed up just to kind of stitch some parts together that I felt were a little bit unclear for me
Hmm.
toward the end because I mean, this definitely follows a pattern of betrayal that
Yeah,
we've been going
yeah,
on
yeah,
with the
yeah,
other
yeah.
ones.
I remember you saying
But
this our last session that like there was a lot of
mhm,
backstabbing in all these films, and I was like, I cannot wait for you to watch
mhm.
this one because
Yeah.
knives everywhere.
This one, this one, yeah, no, dude, it's so funny. Every time someone had a knife, you knew it was
Yeah.
a
The
problem.
opening scene, the opening scene is
Yeah, yeah.
by far the biggest betrayal in the entire film.
What part? Because I had to watch the opening scene again to kind of understand its significance.
Okay, so you know
Um,
who you know who it is, right? Who they're killing.
it's Chandra, right?
No. In the first
Oh no,
scene.
no,
It's
yeah, that's Chandra's husband.
yeah, it's Rajan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
So that is I think the biggest betrayal in the entire movie because he's being killed
Oh,
by his friends slash followers who he thought would be
right.
like he literally so you know in the scene towards the end in the scene where he sat there. So that betrayal comes from the fact that each of these three men have certain ambitions and they feel that Rajan's service to the community, him putting the community
hmm
first, is getting in the way of their own personal interests, right? So they
I
they
see.
they conspire and they're like, what should we do? What should we do? And they're like, okay, we're gonna have to get rid of him, right? So
Mm.
so then they've done something for which Rajan publicly beats them up for, and then he's basically come to the restaurant that evening to essentially do I look blurry to you?
No.
Interesting. Look blurry to myself. I don't know why that is. Okay. Anyways, um give me 1 second. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah,
What-
do your thing.
That's really jarring me off, so we're just gonna okay. Yeah. So where he Dan, it's Vada Chennai. Yeah, so where he comes in and he goes essentially to be like, boys, I'm sorry that I did this to you, but it's important that
Mhm.
we do this, that, and the other. And he's on their side essentially, but he's telling them you need to be careful, whatever. He's giving them advice. He's being a good friend to them, which is why
Yeah,
one
yeah.
of them hesitates to kill him.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then even when they're in the middle of like hacking him to death, he turns around and he tells his brother, just let them do it and don't conduct any revenge because the cycle needs to end here.
No, which it doesn't.
Yeah, which is why I think yeah, exactly. Which is why I think the beginning scene is so powerful because it's like
Mhm.
obvious it's him, but you don't know it's him.
Yeah, yeah. I loved how the movie starts out, like when it just pops in with the machete on the table. I thought that was such a cool, very shocking intro. I also love the motion tracking on the text here,
Yeah.
but so cool.
I,
Like
and I love
such a
how
cool.
I think so that, and then also like how you said the motion track, like the year, the way that it shows the
Mhm.
year. I
Yeah, yeah.
also think that between each chapter where it says name, 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 like the
Hmm.
narrator, like I feel like the way that it's been broken into chapters, I think is very, very cool.
Oh, 100%. This is such a gruesome scene. Like when you watch this, knowing what they just did, it's like they have pieces of this guy's like skull on their body. Like it's actually pretty crazy.
Bro.
Um, but I did like the way that they split it up in the chapters because I feel like it would have definitely been a bit more confusing considering the fact that they jump around
Yeah.
the timeline a lot. Um, I even had to pause myself and kind of like recalibrate at
Mm,
some points when I wasn't sure how far back they were going.
mm,
Um, but I did think that overall I was still managing to put together all of the pieces. It wasn't like I was ever lost at any point. So very
mm.
clear storytelling and writing in that regard. Um, now, does this movie have any kind of like I know it talks about the community and a little bit about how the gangs have grown up in the community.
Mm.
Does this have any kind of like historical relevance, or is this a completely fictional story?
So
Either like with Mhm.
two of the deaths are real deaths. So
Really?
the first one was I don't know which one came first. I think it was the one in 1991. So
Mhm.
Rajiv Gandhi,
Mm.
his death is, I need to be careful about what I say because it's political. It's his death was
Mm.
politically driven. Um
Wow.
I'll tell you more about that off stream actually. Yeah, I'll tell you
Okay.
more about that off stream. But so his death was one, and the second death was you wouldn't have caught it, but it's it was this old guy in like sunglasses. There was a picture of him.
And was that the picture that was burning?
I think so. So his name is MGR.
Okay.
He is
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So do you know what Vijay's done? So he's gone from like being like at the epitome of Tamil cinema to moving into politics.
Right.
MGR did that first.
Oh, really?
He was at the epitome of Tamil cinema, and he moved to become the leader of Tamil Nadu, the entire state.
Mm. Wow.
Um, so his death was another real life event that was in that film. That was I think both deaths were used to move the plot forward in the sense of like I think for instance, Sendil, the one who became paralyzed after getting stabbed in the back.
Mhm.
He used Rajiv Gandhi's murder to um start his own political. I think he used the sort of uproar from that to start his own to
Mhm.
get to basically put his foot into politics.
I see. Wow.
Which he got into trouble for with Rajan, which is one of the reasons
Mhm.
that he turned around and ended up wanting to kill Rajan. Anyways, but yeah.
Wow. Oh, okay. Interesting. So how long after those instances, like were those all in the 90s, all of those
So I know
killings?
Rajiv Gandhi's murder was 1991. MGR's death
Okay.
was 87. So
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Wow.
wait, that doesn't make sense because they killed him in 87. They killed Rajan in 87.
Mm.
I'm getting it's been a good like 4 or 5 weeks since I've seen the film. I'll be honest, so the timeline is not fresh in my head. I might have to pull up the plot on Wikipedia if I'm being completely honest.
Yo, MGR was a swaggy dude.
I've not seen any of his films. I'll be honest, but he even to this day like people still love him.
Very swaggy. That's Samora. Um, I thought they weren't allowed to say actual names in the movies. Is it just because they say MGR that it's okay?
Um, no, because I mean, I'm calling him MGR because that's what I know him as. I don't know if he had any other name, but it's very
Mhm.
much so like it's very evident that it is him that they are talking about.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think like I don't think it's. I think they're allowed because it's a real life event, right? Like it's not.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's being used to drive the plot of this movie forward, but I don't think they're painting these people's deaths in any sort of negative light
I
because
see.
it's the
Yeah,
character's own choice to do with that death what
right.
they did, right?
That's true.
So it
That is
doesn't
very true.
reflect badly on the in real life people.
Right. No, I get it. Their death just incited a specific reaction from the characters.
Yeah,
Yeah, I totally get that.
oh, I love them. I really like
The
her.
love story is pretty cute.
Yeah, I
And
really like her. Oh, naughty. Um, their song is my favorite song. There's two songs in this film. One is their song and one is Rajan and Chandra's song.
Nah,
Mhm. So I didn't really pay attention to the music in this one just because there wasn't really they didn't like set aside moments for the music.
Pucha, thank you for the
It
follow.
was
Welcome to
just
the
kind of
club.
baked into the movie itself. I think this is actually a song right now.
Yeah, sick
Is this the
song.
song you're talking about?
This is the song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think it looks like a scene, but
What's the name of the song?
Kar Kudal. I can't even fucking pronounce it. Kar Kulal Kadave. I might have just butchered that. It's sorry. I think it's. I think hi. How are you, Pucha? I think it's. I don't know. Listen to the song. Have you heard the song, right? This is the one where it's
No,
like
I
flute
haven't.
heavy.
I have not heard this song.
If you type in Vada Chennai in Spotify, it'll come up. It's like Kaar.
Oh, I found it.
To be fair, I've not listened to it intently enough to translate the lyrics for you. I just like the way it sounds.
It does sound really nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna listen to that full after. But yeah, no. I'm actually really happy that nothing bad happened to his wife. I was so worried about that. I was so worried that they were gonna go after.
Because you know what? I think it says a lot about the fact that you're worried about that because I think that says a lot about the way that women are generally treated in these films. Case in point, the other Chandra from Rick and Veda,
Oh yeah.
who died.
Yeah.
Spoiler if you haven't seen the film, but yeah, I feel like women, especially the women who are the lead women, tend to be treated like shit in these films. So yeah, valid concern.
Yeah. I did like the fact that Chandra was like the kingpin though. That was pretty cool. And
so, you know, when we were speaking about this film last time, there was something that I was holding back from saying, and I was like, I think this is coming off the coattails of me having just seen the film. I was so desperate for you to watch it because I was just like, okay, so there's two main characters, and the one is the obvious one, but the second one, oh my god, bellissimo.
Yeah, it was super sick.
Like
super sick.
Oh, she did it so perfectly as well. So perfectly. She is the definition of a woman scorned. Like,
oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. I thought it was so G when she was like, the guy was like questioning her. He's like, you know, and he's your husband, no less. And she was like, "Do you think I'm a whore?" She was like,
yeah,
I am Roger's wife
like,
first.
I don't think it was
crazy.
I don't think it would have come across to you because obviously you don't know the language, but like she didn't say whore. She said it as like she said she used a swear word. She was like, "Do you think I'm like?" She's like the way that she delivered that line is real boss bitch as well, and you can see it in her eyes in the scene.
100%. 100%. And it didn't feel forced either because like you saw her in the beginning going through so much and you couldn't really pinpoint exactly where a lot of the grief was coming from, but it made sense when it revealed at the end that she took that sadness and completely transformed it into hatred and revenge seeking, basically.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like it was forced, and it felt pretty justified. I just think it's insane to be married to the guy that killed your wife for years, or killed your husband for years, and not murder this man in his sleep like that. Either she
She
has like such a high amount of hatred where the self-control is necessary, or she, yeah, I don't know.
I
It
think
was.
it speaks
Mhm,
a lot to, like, she's very smart, and
mhm,
it's like it speaks a lot to she so what she said when she was telling when she was revealing her entire life story to this guy was that
mhm,
she was actually, this scene specifically where someone comes to hack, is it Sandil? It's Gunnar. Someone comes to hack Gunnar. He's taking part in the religious festival, and people
yep,
come to beat him up, but by
mhm,
accident, Anbu ends up saving him, right?
right,
And
right,
she literally says, I was very angry at you for doing that because you ruined my plan. But that
mm,
evening, Gunnar had come to her house to apologize and basically propose that he look after her. So this scene, so look, that was by accident,
I see,
right? He was supposed to die here by Chandra's calculations.
right,
So then
wow,
when Gunnar went to her house that evening to apologize for everything that had happened in the past 4 years and how she'd been living and how she's been struggling, that was when she decided to play the long game. That was when
mm,
she literally says, it's it's better for me to marry him and stay beside him and conduct my revenge than him having died earlier, and everyone in the situation has to die, and he has to be the last one to die.
yes, right, you're right, I do remember her saying that. Wow.
Yeah. And
So go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think I was thinking about this a lot at the time of watching, like, as a woman, like, yeah, she could have just, like, so initially she tried hiring someone to get him, right? That didn't work.
Mhm,
And then, like you said, she married him. Why did she not just kill him in his sleep? It's because at the time,
mhm,
obviously, she had this grand plan of, like, okay, I'm gonna get everyone else first, and then he gets to go. But also,
right,
like, I keep thinking about it, but from the point of view as a woman, like, I think it just says a lot about, like, she had that man wrapped around her finger, and he
mhm,
did basically everything that she calculated because she batted her eyelashes.
mhm,
Like, at the time, like the late 80s, the early 90s, women didn't have that much say in these things.
mhm.
They didn't have that much pull, like, and I hate to say this, but she used the one weapon at her disposal, which is her sexual
I
prowess.
see. Yeah, you're right,
Um,
100%.
yeah,
Do you think that he kind of went along with what she said also because of like the guilt of taking her husband?
yeah. I think part of it is that because, like, again,
Mhm.
Gunnar was the one that he was hesitant. He was the one that, no, no, I can't do this. I can't do this.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Right.
also, if you see, so at the beginning of the film, when Anbu goes to jail, the two kingpins are Gunnar, so the one that Chandra married, and Sendil, the one
Mhm,
who got paralyzed, right? So,
mhm,
but in actuality, I think the two pins are Rajan and Sendil. Like, I know Rajan died, but
yeah, yeah.
I don't think Gunnar could be considered a kingpin because he has, like, Sendil is playing also like a long political game, right? He's playing the game logically, whereas Sendil, every move that he makes is emotionally driven, including marrying
Mhm.
and looking after Chandra.
Wow. Yeah,
Um,
you're right. You're 100% right. And he never even comes off like he's really um calling the shots. Like it really does feel like Chandra's like calling the
yeah,
shots rather than
100%.
him.
Yeah. Even the
Wow.
call to be like, oh, send your brother to jail instead of Anbu, because then
Mhm,
you can raise these two boys as like henchmen. You can have them like under your, as your second hand.
mhm.
Um, like, Anbu feels so much guilt. This is what causes Anbu to be loyal to Gunnar because his brother dies, right? But it's Chandra that suggested that, and she doesn't show any sort of remorse. She doesn't care.
Right.
Um, What else
You
did she
know
do?
what this? I'm trying to think if I remember the name. This reminds me of another movie. Oh, what the fuck is it called? Is it?
Is it Western?
No, it is not. But I think it has a similar ending.
Is it Tamil? If it's not Tamil, I probably won't be able to help.
I think it's Hindi actually.
Mm,
But I just want to make sure that it has the ending that I am thinking of. Yes, it does. So, have you watched Gangs of Wasseypur?
no.
Oh man, you really got to watch that one. So, there's a scene in the movie that is very, very similar. Not like in terms of how they shot it or saying that they copied or anything like that,
Mm,
but um, this movie is very similar in the fact that there's a woman in the background that is essentially calling the shots for
yeah.
these people.
Yeah.
Um, now, but like it always comes off like the women are the most ruthless people in the entire story. Like, so this right here, this is the end scene.
Hmm.
That's the son of a kingpin's yeah, so it's pretty crazy. So
Hmm.
the son of a kingpin's husband, or the son of a kingpin, she's the wife of, I don't know why English is so hard for me today. Um, he thinks he's going to jail, and he kind of like took him under his wing. But he comes over, the cops take off his handcuffs, and he just shoots him in the police car. And then at the end, you have, I don't know if they'll show it. Yeah, they do. Um, you have the son, like that's basically his uncle. He just killed his uncle, and then walks to his mom that's basically been running the show the whole time. It's pretty cool. It's not as um direct as
Mm,
Chandra, because Chandra's like actually out here, you know, manipulating multiple pieces at once to get the outcome that she desires.
yeah.
Um in Gangs of Wasseypur, it's a lot more like the mom is just honestly, she wants the son to basically be what her husband was.
Mm,
And after her husband died, she kind of was like pushed out of the underworld, and she
mm.
kind of like used her son to force her way back in. Um, but yeah, it just, I don't know, that parallel just interested me, and how ruthless these women have to be completely okay with the amount of blood that they are causing for their
It's
goals.
it's giving Lady Macbeth, but I feel like in Lady Macbeth she didn't really have a reason. She was just a bitch to be a bitch. But
She was just a psycho. Yeah, exactly. But very, very similar in terms of how they're executing and how the figure that the women are taking. But I
yeah.
really did like Chandra's character.
So
The only Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say like the way that so I think I'm not entirely sure. Those of you who are fans of this film, please let me know if I'm wrong. But I think this was planned to be one of two films or one in a
Mm,
trilogy. So I look at this film and I think, yeah, it's like Anbu is the main character and you see his come up from, a young man to like the leader of a community essentially by the end of the film. But
mhm.
I feel like it's very much so I think it's very much so Chandra's story. This film is Chandra's story. I
It
think
really is.
what happens next would probably be his story. Like, yeah, it's about his come up, but like he's not had his big sort of like thing yet as the kingpin. It's
Mhm.
just he is
100%.
now the proverbial leader of his community. What is he gonna do
Right.
with it? I think what's to come would be his story, but for now, this is very much so hers.
Absolutely. No, 100%. Because none of this would have even happened had she not taken the initiative to put these things in motion.
Mm,
Even though he kind of like stumbled into all of it, um, there wouldn't have been anything to stumble into had Chandra not made the choice. Um, I do think that he has a lot more as a character to show. Because genuinely, like, obviously in the beginning, you don't know what his the reason for him being in prison is, and he just seems like he's a fish out of water in that environment. As the story goes on, you see him kind of build a bit more courage, I guess you could say, to execute the actions that he needs, but only until he realized that like the very people he was loyal to were also going to sell out his community did he actually start making choices on his own. But prior to that, he was just like, I'm indebted to this guy, uh, and that's really it. But
Yeah.
obviously the debt was kind of fake at the same time. So
So
um
that was
yeah,
that's an interesting point that you bring up, because in most of these like come up gangster stories, like the young man is looking for it. He goes
yeah,
chasing
exactly.
that. But at
Hmm.
every opportunity, Danish's
They're fucking.
character,
What are you barking for, bro? Why are you barking?
so
Exactly.
embarrassing. Sorry, Malik. Dana, thank you for the 8-month resubscribe. Oh, I need to change that notification. I'm wearing the same fucking top in that as well. It's actually embarrassing. Anyways, right. Right. What was I saying? Oh god,
You're talking about how like usually in these kind of movies the young guy
yeah. So
wants the yeah.
at every opportunity, Danish turns around and rejects this sort of like
Mhm.
this lifestyle, to the point where even Gunnar's like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" Like, blah 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 blah
Mhm.
blah. And he's like, "No, I just want to marry my girl and play carom and live a peaceful life. Please leave me
Right.
the fuck alone." But it really
Mhm.
isn't until, like you said, towards the end of the film, like he has no choice.
Yeah. And I think he actually finds his true loyalty, which is his community at the end of the day. It wasn't any of the people that he was associating with, it wasn't anyone that he was mingling with. It was, at the end of the day, he just wanted to make sure that his community was being represented adequately within these
Mm.
political fields. And he's not really even like, even though he gave his life to Guna, when he stood up against Guna, that was like his defining line, like, okay, I've done all of this and yet you're still going to basically sell out the community that I'm trying to live within. Like he wants to build a safe life within that community. He doesn't want to have to move away. And I think it's just very poetic, because I think the second movie would definitely be more about Anbu taking initiative himself, but I think it's so poetic that Chandra puts him in Raj's house
Yeah,
after.
yeah,
She's basically just painting him, like
yeah,
literally, like she's basically saying, everybody who is an enemy of my husband, go after this guy because I'm sure he will kill you.
yeah. 100%, 100%.
Like,
And
it's pretty crazy.
I think that it's oh, what was I gonna say? I'm having a dementia moment. Hell, I was gonna say something.
I do want to just piggyback on that and just say, like, Chandra does not give a fuck about Anbu. Like, she doesn't give a fuck what
Do you
happens to him
think?
at all. At all. I don't think she does at all. I think she literally is so. I think it seems like she's under the mindset of like, blow it all up and I will figure out the ashes afterward,
You know
kind of
what? You might actually
deal.
be right.
That's the idea that I got, because it never really seemed like she was looking out for Anbu. It was more so just be like, okay, here's Anbu. He's a force. I can utilize this force, but she never really mentioned any kind of concern for his life or his safety. She gave him the club, but I don't think the club was a selfless gift. I think it was purely just to kind of get him in the nest and keep him there.
Yeah, I think now that you mention it, I actually didn't think of it like that. That's insane.
She doesn't, yeah, no, she's ruthless.
As you were saying that, what the scene that came to mind is the first time she lays her eyes on him, and like the old woman that's with her, who is, I don't know if she's like a soothsayer or like a voodoo woman, I don't know, but she basically was like, "This is the guy who's gonna help you in your journey with what you want to
Mm-hmm.
do." And it's a young Unber in like 1999, 1991, with the hair and the funky
Mm-hmm.
shirt, and he's just walking across the street, and she's just staring at him like this.
No, honestly, I wish they, like, I liked that whole mystic concept. I thought it was so cool. I just wish that they made it more of a point. Like, I felt like they, when they were writing it, I felt like they were like, okay, this is going to be like a big piece of it. There's going to be like this metaphysical aspect that is influencing all of these actions. But then it seemed like they kind of like backed out of that idea when they actually started filming it. Let me. Yeah, because she's like so ominous. Like she's in areas, you know what I mean? Like she's in areas that she has no reason being in.
Yeah.
She always has some kind of like omniscient perspective, but I just don't think they like actually this is a good example because she says something, she says, thus it begins, and then it just cuts. Like it completely is just like, all right, thanks, old lady. Like, I don't know. I feel like if they would have just give her more screen time, you would have felt the supernatural aspect a bit more. Like, thus it begins. Cut.
I agree with you. I agree with you. And I guess the only way that it's not even excuse it, but I'm just trying to sort of decode it. But you could argue that often fate doesn't intervene, it just watches, right? So
Okay.
I don't know, but I agree with you because like for me, like I grew up with the culture this, like even like that whole I can't lie to you, like any sort of like soothsayery things like that, any sort of people like that, they freak me the fuck out because I'm just like, but I can appreciate that it is a part of my people, a part of my culture, right? So like her presence in the film, again, it's like, do you remember how in the last session we were talking about things and I was like, I didn't even notice that, I just went right over my head. Like her presence and her being like, ooh, like I thought it was a bit like, I feel like it made me connect to Chandra a little bit more. But other than that, I didn't really notice her presence there because I'm just like, this type of shit is like typical for these people. I don't really, right?
I see. Which is, no, I get what you mean.
Yeah, but I get what you mean by like, if she was more present, it would have been more like, ooh.
Yeah. I kind of wanted it to be a little bit more woo-woo. Like I wanted there to be that black magic aspect to it because it would have felt a little bit more like Chandra's not only pulling out all stops in terms of who she can manipulate, she's also manipulating the stars as well with this lady, you know what I mean? But the lady is so important though, and I just felt like they didn't really emphasize her as much because had it not been for that lady, Chandra wouldn't have had these points to kind of guide her next decision. You know what I mean? Like Chandra is very much a supernatural person, clearly. Like she believes in that stuff enough to base her entire, plot on, So like she completely just took the word of that mystic when she saw Anbu. She was like, okay, bet that guy's gonna kill my husband's enemies.
Yeah.
And then just took it from there. What he said, I found the glasses. These glasses? Or are we talking about a different pair?
No, so do you remember when I did my IRL with my friends and then one of them was
the crones.
Yeah.
The crones.
Yeah.
No way.
Dan, if you have the link, send it through to us so Malik can have a look.
Please do. Those are so fire.
Yeah. I don't know what Chrome Hearts is. I'm an old woman, so
it's an old luxury brand that's coming back in the style.
Ah, I see.
I appreciate it, fellow. Was it Faluda Poppy?
Yes. That is Suj's older brother. Faluda is a drink. Have you ever tried some?
No. Is it a fruity drink or
it is and it isn't. It's like a milkshake made with like rose syrup, so it's like pink.
Rose milk.
And then you put like pieces of like jelly and like nice like chewy bits in it, and then you put ice cream in it. It's really nice. It's really nice. I don't know if you have any do you have any like South Asian restaurants near you?
Yeah, for sure, but this seems like a very niche thing.
Dan, whereas I feel like Faluda is actually pan-Indian.
Really? I've never seen this.
This is one of my favorite desserts.
This looks so good.
Yeah, all Indians drink it. It's pan-Indian.
I'm gonna have to try it out.
It's very sweet. I don't know if you've got a sweet tooth. Do you have a sweet tooth?
Oh yeah. Bengali, of course.
Yeah. It's banging drink.
This is right up my alley. That's awesome. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't try to make it myself. I'm gonna look for a restaurant that
It's
has it.
actually
I've
easier
never
to make
seen
than
it
you
at
think.
any Indian restaurant though.
It's easier to make than you think. I've made it before at my house, but it slaps better always when you have it outside.
Mm,
Now you gotta
the
show me
Samantha.
Samantha Vijay scene. Oh my god. Okay, you know what? We do have a session coming where I'm gonna be like showing him all the wondrous things to do with Vijay. So we'll see then. That in itself is a whole session. Yeah.
That's hilarious. I'm actually really excited for the humanitarian ones coming up
Yeah.
because this, like, I really, I mean, you can tell that the moral that this was supposed to be, that was supposed to be taken from this for the community that was watching it was like, stand up for your community. Don't let the government nor these gangs dictate how your community is run. And I really like the detail in the beginning when like everybody was looting after the prime minister was killed,
Mm.
and clearly Anbu was as well. But the moment that the brother of the minister comes out, Anbu doesn't even hesitate and like returns the items.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of poetic because it shows like a respect to it was Rajan was the minister, right?
Rajiv Gandhi.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Was so he was MGR was Chandra's husband. Just so I can get that correct.
No. Rajan.
No,
Okay,
okay.
Rajan is Chandra's husband.
Rajan, okay, yeah.
MGR was.
Then
Go on, sorry.
no, I definitely got that confused with Rajan and MGR. So Rajan, it was his brother that was on the megaphone telling people to return the items. Then.
Oh
right?
yes, Thambi, yes,
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, Thambi, yes, correct.
Yeah.
So to me, that said that Anbu already had a respect for those brothers, for Rajan and his brother, and for him to end up in Rajan's home, I think was just kind of cool, like showing it come full circle.
I don't know whether
kind of shows where his true loyalty really was all along.
I don't know whether you caught this, but I think they said it in the narrative, and you see it during Rajan's flashback. But Anbu was, there was a part of his There's a part of his I just fucking stopped working then. What the fuck? There was a part of his flashback where he's teaching kids to play carom. Anbu is one of those kids. So he grew up respecting and having admiration for Rajan, which then carried on obviously after Rajan died to Thambi.
I see.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's actually really cool. So it was a loyalty that no one even knew about from the beginning. That's really cool. That's actually really cool. Yeah, so he's not, that's actually a really important detail because it shows that he's not entirely just being used as a pawn. There is a part of him that does want to actually avenge, Rajan at the same time.
100%. But I don't think there may be a small part of him, but I think maybe leading a peaceful life with Padma takes precedence.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But then
absolutely
the community took precedence over that. So
right.
We circle back to Rajan and the loyalty and the whole thing.